It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? All right, let's go ahead and get started with another session for a showcased unit. This is going to be the Sluggish Battle Form Kid Buu, aka I like to fucks with Vegeta. All right, my schedule's been all over the place today. I meant to upload this sooner, but hopefully, it wasn't too long of a wait. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. He's got the leader skill of Tech and Strength type, plus 2 key HP and Tech of 50% increase. The super attack is the Planet Burst, causes supreme damage to enemy and also lowers defense. Passive skill will add attack and defense increase of 78%, as well as disabling the enemy's guard. Link skills, he's got Majin that adds 10% to attack and defense. Brutal Beatdown will add 10% to attack. More Than Meets the Eye will add 300 to attack. Big Bad Bosses, attack and defense increase of 25% when HP is 80% or below. Infinite Regeneration recovers 3% in HP. The Wall Standing Tall will add attack by 15%. And finally, Fierce Battle will add 15% to attack as well. He does fall into two categories, Resurrected Warriors and Majin Buu Saga. So similar to the buff Tech Buu version, this is on a Resurrected Warriors team setup. Maxed out, his stats are going to be the following. HP at 10,803. Attack is going to be 11,204, and defense is 5,904. So you do notice there is a slight difference with the stats, as well as the ridiculous level 20 for all the hidden potential levels. 12 key multiplier is 135%, and he does Dokkan Awaken from the Transforming Power Majin Buu, which is the South Supreme Kai Absorbed version. That is one of the SRs that are available on the banners. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Again, like I said, I know I've heard comments about kind of the little bit unrealistic due to the kind of overstated stats on a server test, but it at the end of the day, it still gives you an idea of what the potential is. You know what I'm saying? It might be inflated a little bit, but even if you reduce that by 20% or so, you'll get an idea of what kind of potential he's at maxed out. So hopefully, in that regard, it's helpful and informative and also educational. So that's kind of the reason why I'm doing these. And as a player myself, I'm always wondering what units are maxed out. So that's kind of why I share videos like this, just if I'm interested in finding out what the potential is for a unit maxed out. I'm sure a lot of other people are, so that's kind of the reasonings for that. So you'll see different units mixed in, linked up with them, but for the majority, the Strength Fat Buu does link up pretty well with them. So for the most part, you'll see them linked up together with the Kid Buu. And the artwork for Kid Buu is pretty hilarious. I remember back in the day when I was reading the manga and saw the taunting behavior of Kid Buu against Vegeta. That shit was pretty funny. Actually, I can't remember it. Hold on a second. It might actually have been against Super Saiyan 3 Goku if I remember correctly. Sometimes I get shit mixed up. I can't even remember. I'm about to Google this shit. No, yeah, it was definitely against Vegeta. Because I'm looking at Vegeta's face afterwards. He's like, this motherfucker. But other than that, I think the Super Buu against Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks when he's sipping on that cream soda, chilling, waiting on shit to go down. That was pretty funny too. But I do like character developments and clownish characters like that. It makes it more entertaining. So I'm glad they made a unit out of this guy. Speaking of reading the mangas and comics, I need to order all the available Dragon Ball Super mangas, I kind of want to just reread them as a manga versus watching the animated show. I kind of, in my personal preference, I prefer the manga over the animated shows. It just I guess I can read things a certain way and kind of tailor how I see characters a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, it kind of makes it, for me, a lot more enjoyable. Alright, so he should have type advantage here, so I'm expecting a pretty decent output here against the Cooler. So Slim Boo's hitting for about 768,000 with the critical, so we'll see that in comparison to how Kid Buu does. So about 470,000 without the critical. So yeah, he had type advantage, no criticals, hit for about 850k, and then with the criticals 1.2 million, so definitely pretty decent there. Yeah, it's been a long week. That's all I gotta say. If you must know, I am actually at the office right now, taking a break, recording. I'll probably get back into work mode after finishing up the edits for this. Since I do slice up the showcase unit and kind of take out the rest of the team's gameplay. It does take a little bit of time to edit, but when I'm watching videos in my personal time, I like a concise version, so this is kind of why I take these approaches. So hopefully, it's preferable that way for many people. But at the end of the day, it does take time to edit, so with that in mind, there are certain delays based on my schedule as to when I have time to do those. So hopefully I'm not uploading this too late in the night. It's about 10 o'clock in the evening for me. I know there's all sorts of people from all sorts of areas watching this, so not really sure what the schedule is, but typically I try to maintain a schedule of like noon or 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and then another one around 5 or 6 p.m. in the afternoon. This is Eastern US time zone, so hopefully that schedule works for everybody. If it doesn't, let me know. Alright, so the Big Bad Bosses definitely does seem to have kicked in since HP is less than 80%. Now, I did see a comment about the Tech Boo's ability. I don't know if he'll have enough HP left, but yeah, I mean, I in the last video, I definitely should have linked him up with either this guy or the physical Kid Buu. The links are overall better, and plus the physical Kid Buu does provide 50% toward attack and defense for all allies, so I think the tech buff Buu would have been much nicer in damage output perspective. But yeah, we're gonna switch things up on the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta event, and then I'll close it out on a befitting event, which will be the actually, no. I meant to do that originally, but I didn't have time for it. So we'll close out with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta event. I can't even talk right now. I'm so damn tired. For a car that was originally an SR unit, this guy definitely isn't too bad. Obviously, there's a hell of a boost in overall stats, plus the level 20s and all the hidden potential levels, but I don't know. I mean, if any of you guys in the actual game have maxed them out, how closely does this resemble a rainbow unit of this guy? Let me know in the comments, too. But yeah, this was pretty much the showcased video for the Strength Kit boost. So hopefully you guys enjoy the content, and definitely stay tuned for a next one coming up.